Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and today I'm excited to be revisiting the world of Aeon's End. We're going to be taking a look at the latest entry in this series called The New Age. This is a game designed by Kevin Riley and is published by Indie Boards and Cards and Action Phase Games. If you're a solo player looking for a new deck builder to play, this is a high recommendation for any of the Aeon's End entry points into the world. There are many of them, and the one that I concluded a playthrough for was Aeon's End War Eternal. If you're looking for gameplay for these types of deck builders, you're going to want to check that link in the top right hand corner of the screen. That'll help you get a better understanding of how this game plays. But inside of this video, we're going to take a look at the components inside the box, starting with the back of the box. The people of Gravehold have survived the nameless assault for years, living their lives in spite of a world at war. The new generation of mages are bolder than their parents and more determined than ever to find a way to live in peace. But determination taken too far can become madness, and the void can corrupt even the most stalwart soul. Aeon's End, The New Age is a cooperative deck building game where your deck is never shuffled. A variable player order simulates the chaos of battle, and deck management makes all your decisions meaningful. Every game you will face a different nemesis, each with a unique set of abilities requiring a different strategy to be defeated. Aeon's End, The New Age introduces an infinitely replayable expedition mode which builds on the existing Aeon's End lore. It also includes all new mages and nemesis, as well as gems, relics, and spells that are compatible with all existing content. Aeon's End, The New Age is a standalone expansion that can be mixed and matched with the other standalone games. You can see a little bit of the artwork here for the game. It really is very, very engrossing and draws you in. Also down here in very, very small icons, the time to play the game is 60 minutes and it's 1 to 4 players, so it is, of course, solo playable right out of the box. As soon as you go ahead and open up the box for the first time, you're going to run right into the prologue for the game, and this is going to give you some nice backstory. Of course, lore is a big thing in Aeon's End. If you played any of the previous iterations, you'll see a page or two of lore giving you a reason as to what is really going on in this world and why you are doing what you're doing. You got the objective of the game up here, contents all listed out, so you become more familiar with the different items which should be inside the box. This is just a rough overview of the rulebook, so you can see roughly how it's laid out. I won't be going through every single page here, but lots of illustrations, very big text and very big illustrations here. So in total, if you go to the back of the rulebook in terms of the number of pages, there's 20 pages. Next, inside the box, you're going to find something called the End of Expedition Rulebook. Now, this is only about 2 pages or so. I'm not going to open this one up, as this might contain some type of spoilers, but it is a quick and short one inside the box. Next here, you're going to get this, and you're used to this if you played any of the previous Aeon's End entries into this series. They do a really good job of letting you know up front, being that there's a lot of cards inside the box, what to open and what not to open, and that's exactly what this particular sheet is all about. It says right up top, before opening any of the decks of cards, please read the rule book. And of course, you're going to want to follow the steps for setup, because you're only accessing cards that are already available to you at the beginning of the game. So that is essentially what this sheet is all about. Then moving on, we get into the tokens themselves. Let's bring these up and see exactly what they have for us. Here's a closer look at the token sheet inside the game. What's really nice is that they're all labeled, so if you're unfamiliar with them or have never owned an Aeon's End game before, you won't need to reference the rulebook. You've got life tokens right here, you've got the Megos tokens right here, power tokens over here, charge tokens, and turn order tokens. Now this is where things in terms of an unboxing become a little bit capped in terms of what I can show you. Everything inside of this box is sealed, for cards anyway. So again, as mentioned in that sheet we just passed by, there's only certain decks you're going to open in order to begin your playthrough, including some envelopes you're going to see here as well, all labeled out. So a number of this stuff I won't be showing in terms of cards, because it would just lead to a whole bunch of potential spoilers in what you unlock over time. So there are all kinds of packs of cards in this, being that it's a deck builder, and you can see it says like this one, stop, end, front. This is the front of the Stop End deck. Do not open this until instructed to do so. And this is kind of a similar theme throughout the decks that are inside of this box. There's some that are in smaller packaging, as you can see here, all labeled with 3A or 2B or 3B, all instructed at certain times to be opened up. And that's going to pretty much cover this whole side section, as there's all kinds of decks buried in here, like actually a ton of cards. And again, you've got this kind of included insert, which is just the bare minimum to keep things separated. Over here on the far right, we've got ourselves the actual trackers themselves. So the one thing I do like with this is the artwork that's been included on these trackers now is a bit more cool looking, and they've kind of upped that up. Gravehold here has got its own tracker as well. If I'm not mistaken, Gravehold is still under siege, but it could be a completely different area at this point. We've got a bunch of envelopes here. These are really cool and open up based on your success in the game. And again, they're labeled 1D, 2A, and you'll only open these when instructed to do so. There's actually a number of these inside the box until we get down to the bottom. So you can see here, there's quite a bit. So 2B, 3A, 3B, 4, End, 2A, and 1D. Now let's go ahead and talk about the breach mages that show up inside of the New Age. We have this individual right here. You'll see that there's areas marked around this player board for discard pile, your deck, and 4 different spots up top in terms of trying to open up breaches. So this is one individual you can choose to be. We have this one right here, an Oracle. Next we have the Tide Master. We have the Prospector. Then we have what's called the Nest Mat, and I'm unfamiliar what this and how it works exactly, but this will give you an idea that it looks like bad things happen here. You got players losing the game, Gravehold suffering damage, so this again is confirmation that Gravehold is indeed the area under attack in this one, and there is the big bad here in front of you. So that is going to be the big bad for this particular box. And of course, in the world of Aeon's End, the big bad is actually the Nemesis. This pack right here has all the breaches that are included in the game. These breaches are kept just above your player board, and you're trying to open up as many as you can because it basically gives you options as you move along through the gameplay, plus advantages. So you'll see here when they're open, you're going to be rotating these, focusing them to open them up for different costs. That's one of the coolest mechanics of Aeon's End. Again, the best way to get an understanding of this without me going on too long in this video is to check out my War Eternal playthrough. But you can see here the closed breach are also Roman numerals here mentioning exactly where they should be situated. And if we go ahead through these and flip them over to the opposite side, you'll see a little bit something different on the opposite side over here. So this one here, for instance, has Open Defender Breach, +1 Gravehold life on cast. So there are some advantages to opening up breaches on the other side, as well as they give some benefits like +2 damage on cast, things like that. So very, very cool. It's going to be interesting to see how these are different or play differently than the original sets. And that's going to conclude the unboxing for Aeon's End, the New Age. I really hope this helps you understand the different components that come inside the box of this one. And again, if interested in gameplay, check out the War Eternal playthrough here on the channel, and hopefully that'll help you make an informed decision on which one of the entry points in Aeon's End you might be interested in jumping into if you're a new player. If you're someone who consumes all the Aeon's End content, this is the most recent iteration, and this will be the one you want to pick up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep on rolling solo.